Sector 0, I'm coming for you, and I'm coming fast. I didn't just run to it, I ran. I ran so far that even Forrest Gump would be proud. This is not a flex by any means. I hated every single second of it. The distance I had to travel was out of this world, considering I had to restart from the beginning if I died. None of that mattered to me because I was moving in ways I didn't think were possible in this challenge. I kept going until I couldn't no more. And do you know why I couldn't? Because the game didn't let me. I'm convinced that the game had a glitch that I thought wasn't going to let me be able to continue this challenge. Let me explain. There's this part underwater where all I had to do was make it to the exit to escape. But for whatever reason, whenever I got close to it, I would die. Literally, every single time I got very close to the exit, I would take some damage and just pass away. Now I think it's because there was this guy up here shooting at me as well as back there. But it was weird because I'm getting shot literally the entire time I'm underwater, but nothing would happen to me. I would only take damage once I got to the actual exit or if I swam too close to the surface. There were no guides to help me out with this one, or at least none that I could find, so it was up to me to use my brain. And somehow, this old, worn out, almost completely smooth organ I had in my skull came up with a solution. After many resets, what worked for me was that I waited in this corner next to the exit until I nearly ran out of breath, and for some reason, it allowed me to go through the pipe without dying. I don't know how it works, maybe one of you guys can explain it to me down below, but honestly, I was just trying random things and out of everything, this happened to work. No joke, I tried to shoot at them before I landed in the water, and I even tried to dodge the bullets, but thankfully I don't know how, I managed to get out because I was beginning to think that it was impossible to get past this part. Another gunfight ensued, which I love because a bullet to the head is the only thing that can one-shot these people. Knowing how resilient these men can be, it really makes me wonder what's inside of these bullets that makes a man's head look like this right after it is shot. With everyone now put into the eternal slumber, I finally made it to Sector 0. Beautiful. Jade was somewhere here with the research, so I needed to find her. Some badass named Troy and a guy with a hole in his shirt led me to a guy with a yellow shirt. His name must have been Bitch because he couldn't set up explosives in this building by himself. So you already know I had to show him how it's done. Yeah, I can see why he didn't want to do this. The amount of zombies in here were too much for me to count. As of right now, I think it's the most I've ever seen in this game. Even children were in here. But the good old Glocky never fails. I planted all the explosives I was supposed to, and I headed outside, and it turns out it was just to create a sad face. Why do you ask? Well, it's to tell the world that people are still in this city. Please do not blow us up. Well, there goes that plan. Jade told me to meet her at a building, but as you can see, Rise's men kind of got to her first. Me, being the boyfriend she doesn't know she has, I went to go rescue her. On my way to her, I saved this guy from a zombie attack only for him to repay me by killing me. If this game has taught me anything, is that being nice usually ends up in you screwing yourself over. Which is why I headed back there with my Glock in my hand, cocked back, ready to help this guy some more, but luckily for him, he wasn't there anymore. A small little swimming section led me to the inside of the museum.
The last time we met, you took something of mine. Now, I took something of yours. I don't negotiate with assholes, Rise.
Couldn't I just have shot him right there and then boom, credits? Anyways, I got into a huge gunfight, which had me smiling the entire time because finally, this challenge was doable. Sure, I did die here and there, but my god was it fun. Getting my revenge on these ruthless bastards for what they did to me before was definitely the best part of this challenge. Not just seeing, but hearing their head pop like confetti brought very concerning joy to my soul. As I was making my way to Jade, my symptoms were getting much worse. But good old Glocky and I fought through it all. I got to Jade, and to be honest, she didn't look too hot. Rise sent out some zombies, and I sent out some bullets. The skull fragments and brain matter that flew into the sky was all for nothing, since in the end, I found out that Jade was infected. Rise tossed me only one vial of antizin, that sick and I wanted to use it on my girlfriend to save her life, but simps don't last very long in this world, and Jade knew that. So after this insane LSD trip, she injected me with the antizin, saving my life. She went out fighting like a true champion, and I had to be the one to put an end to her. I had no time to grieve this beautiful woman because I was tossed into a fight with Tahir immediately after her death. Fighting Tahir was like fighting air because every time I swung, I'd miss. The man had unlocked a Sharingan more powerful than anyone in the Naruto universe has ever seen. But there is a strategy to this fight that worked pretty well for me. That was the art of baiting. As long as you back away after every single hit, you'd be fine, for the most part. I mean, sure, there were times where I just got booty clapped regardless of what I did, but it's a learning process. When it comes to these challenges, the key is to never give up. Through countless deaths and countless repetitions, anything is possible. Which is why I did end up defeating this man. He may be big and tough, but when it comes to dedication, I don't bluff. Pathetic. Look at you. Powerless. Defeated by a man handicapped by his own determination.
You leave untied.
There. Dead. Rise really plays a dirty game, huh? I take his hand from him, and he takes my future wife. I will get revenge, but before that, I had to do a couple of things first. Mainly trying to stop the incoming bombing raid. In order to do this, I had to climb this humongous tower and insert this transmitter to it. Let's just say, getting to the top wasn't so easy since I first had to find a key card that, well, sadly was not that easy to get to. Yeah, that really wasn't easy. Heck, even on my way up to the tower, I died. But then I finally made it up, inserted the transmitter, and contacted the incoming bombing squad.
Please listen. My name is Kyle Crane, and I'm sending this message from inside the Haran quarantine.
Thankfully, I was able to stop them just in time. For a second, I really thought they were going to slam dunk a bomb into my ass. But God bless that it didn't have to come to that. I now was heading towards Dr. Camden in order to give him Zera's research. You know, he said that getting into his office would be incredibly difficult, but all I did was press the C keycap on my keyboard to crouch and get inside. By clicking the mouse button, I also was able to riddle these men with an insane amount of bullets. Honestly, I felt unstoppable. I shot at anything and everything. This man tried to scare the life out of me, so I scared the life out of his head. Dr. Camden had me go through a lot of extra bullshit, but then I finally got to him. I gave him the research, and finally, life was looking a little better. He said a cure was possible, he just needed the rest of Zera's research that sadly was in Rise's hands. So ladies and gentlemen, let's go get it. Making my way back to his tower was quite a long process. Since I had no checkpoints, dying meant restarting from a safe house far as hell. And trust me, I died quite a few times. But look, there it was. Finally, I was close. I could smell Rise from here. He doesn't look like the kind of guy to shower, and if he does, he probably bathes in the blood of his enemies, or his own to be honest. Now for the most part, navigating this tower wasn't too hard, or so I thought, because then I came to what I like to call the volatile run. This section right here is what really puts you to the test. It starts off by having to shoot this little kid, because if you don't, you're dead. Once that is done, you run, and I mean run, because volatiles start coming out of nowhere. You really don't have time to slow down, or else you'll get slapped. I couldn't sit there and kill them one by one, because I didn't have the ammo for it, nor the health, obviously. All the bullets I did have were already used up on the previous attempts I had of this run to try and stun the volatiles as I ran. The slightest mistake you make will get you killed. The UV light is honestly your best friend. Perfectly timed blast to the volatiles is what will make this run possible. Since I had no upgrades, my stamina runs out pretty damn quickly. This UV light gave me just enough time to regenerate a pubic hair worth of stamina to keep on going. There was a lot of BS to this run too, like sometimes the UV light just wouldn't work and I'll just die. Sometimes I'll miss the jumps and die, and sometimes I'll miss the first jump and die. Yes, I had to jump onto this railing in the beginning because if I didn't, I'd die. Jumping onto this railing gives me enough time to get a lead on the volatiles. It's little things like this that I had to worry about while attempting this run. This actually took so long that I had to resort to just choking the first kid out, because if not, I'd lose all my ammo with the amount of times I had to shoot him. I mean, just look at the map. And look at how fast they are. My heart was beating so fast I thought it was going to burst out of my chest. I thought my parents were going to have to call the ambulance because they found their poor son passed out on the floor with the gaming keyboard on his lap. Now I'm going to show you guys the successful run I got because I am very, very proud of myself for not giving up. It doesn't look that hard, but trust me, it was. At this point after that run, I was just ready to finish this, man. Getting to Crane was insanely hard. Yes, I had the knives. Yes, I kind of had the ammo, but I promise you, that did nothing for me. Fighting all of these zombies was an absurd idea. I just had to push through them and hope for the best. I carefully maneuvered my way up and up and up and up until I finally got to the man himself. He threw a knife at me that, to be honest, got me the first time, since I'm not used to this whole keyboard and mouse life. But the second time, I also died. By the third time, it was all over. I dodged it, but not really, and got into a fight with Rise. He tried to slice me to death, but the tables got turned. A machete to the gut didn't do it, but a kunai to the jugular definitely did. Rise was no longer a threat. I told the GRE to go f themselves, and Camden gave me the great news.
I don't think the word phenomenal is too strong. Crane, if you can recover Zara's data, I'm certain a cure is within reach.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, I was able to beat Dying Light without upgrades and with only 1 HP. Thank you guys so much for watching. Dying Light is honestly one hell of a game, despite this challenge making me think otherwise. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.